How many of you text while driving? Better yet, how many of you know somebody close to you who does? Unfortunately, it's so sad to say that most people cannot answer no to this question. And this has proven to be a grave danger and has proven to increase the numbers of fatalities, deaths, accidents related to texting while driving. Although most people feel like they are skilled enough to text while driving and they can multitask perfectly, the same cannot be said for many other people who do end up facing fatal accidents, injuries, and even death. In our society today, texting has been a great part of how people interact with each other, especially with the increase in uh, media outlets like Instagram and social networks. And many people deem it necessary to stay on top of these connections with each other, and most often they do this by text. Texting while driving has led to an increasing number of accidents and deaths in the United States ever since. According to an article by the Federal Communications Commissions, it states an alarming number of travel accidents are linked to driving while distracted, including the use of cell phones while driving, resulting in injury and loss of life. And this was last updated May 26, 2020. The increasing number of accidents, fatal injuries, and deaths linked to texting while driving is absolutely not necessary. And this can be greatly reduced and avoided if people just choose to value their own life and just avoid texting while driving. It's that easy. Just try and avoid it, and this doesn't have to happen. All these injuries, all these deaths can be prevented therefore. So in this talk right here, I'm here to give you the effects, causes, and solutions to distracted driving in order to live a healthy and longer life. The effects of the problem: too many fatally dangerous injuries have occurred because of texting while driving in the United States. Distracted driving has proven extremely dangerous, which has caused disastrous injuries in very severe cases, and it has led to even death. According to an article named Causes and Effects of Distracted Driving, the author Emily states that accidents with effects, distracted driving can be extremely dangerous and result in accidents with effects ranging from minor vehicle damage to a totaled car and devastating injuries. Increasingly, distracted driving results in fatalities. And the date was last accessed in April 29th, 2020. It causes, distracted driving also causes more harm to people than people realize. It causes more harm to not just the driver themselves, but it puts innocent passengers who are in the car with the driver at risk. It also puts innocent civilians at risk. And because it does this, and if you end up injuring an innocent passenger, or if you end up causing an accident that kills an innocent civilian, then it causes more implications towards the driver themselves, which can be greatly avoided if we stop texting while driving. And this can actually lead to actual jail time. So these are the effects. And now that we know the effects of distracted driving, I would definitely like to look at the causes of the problem. So texting while driving is a result of distracted driving, which includes three main aspects to discuss. And we have visual distractions, whereby you're using your phone and you take your eyes off the road because you're reading a text. So that's the visual distraction that we see. We have manual distraction when you're trying to pick up your phone to read a text. So that means you're taking your hand off the wheel. So that is the manual distraction. And then we have cognitive distractions, whereby, let's say if you get an alarming text message and like that kind of shifts like your brain, and you're not really focusing on the road, and that is also an implication. So that is cognitive distractions. All in all, distracted driving happens when when most individuals trust themselves so much that they feel like they can take their mind off the road and they're able to do amazing while driving. Most people forget that multitasking while driving is a distraction, and it takes your full attention away from the road. According to an article published by The Balance last accessed April 29, 2020, the author states, while you may feel like you drive on autopilot, it requires a lot of focus and your full attention. Distractions can affect drivers now and then, and it only takes one time and the smallest of distractions to cause a life-altering accident. So now that we've examined the effects of distracted driving and what causes distracted driving, like the little components that cause it, it would be nice to look at some of the solutions that we can partake in order to avoid the fatalities, the accidents, the injuries that come with this action. So one of the ways is driving instructors should always give new drivers clear and simple instructions to never to never use any device to take their minds off the road, as this can cause very serious injuries or death. So just being able to teach. And then another amazing way is state laws. When the state enforces laws that can either fine the person who's driving if they are caught using their phones while driving, then that most oftenly influences, or it kind of suggests to the person, and it encourages the person to not use their phones while on the road, which can prevent the fatalities and the problems that come with distracted driving. And then phone applications should enforce do not disturb while driving modes, and this could be helpful to stop people from using their cell phones until they reach, let's say, a destination where the cars at a halt, and then they will be able to use it. And then we should just be more active in advocating the reasons why we should stop texting while driving. We can offer classes, or we can speak in public, or we can speak in schools. So just teaching people how to stop is a very good solution to this problem. And then so we have looked at ways in which distracted driving impacts the health and well-being of individuals. We have assessed what causes distracted driving, and we've discussed steps to take together in order to avoid and ensure the health and the safety of most people. And if we don't do anything, then people will continue to attempt to do multitasking while driving, be it texting or be it eating or just taking their eyes off the road. And innocent lives, passengers, civilians, drivers,